heard about Kanban and projects and are wondering what is Kanban? Well, stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to share with you an understanding of how to use Kanban methodology in your next project. And if you want to be a project manager ninja, then stay tuned to the end of this video where I'm going to share with you how you can get your hands on an amazing checklist to ensure your projects do not fail. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Adriana Girdler, and on this channel, you're going to get the best career and project management advice coming to you every Wednesday. Please consider subscribing to this channel as it helps us grow this amazing community. Now, if you're excited about learning about what is Kanban, like this video. It does tell YouTube we're putting out good content and we can get more out to you. So, let's go. What is Kanban? Kanban is a methodology for managing your project tasks in an agile way that allows for everyone to see the progress of all the tasks associated with your project. Now, this Kanban is done in a way where it's actually done on a board. That board can be a physical board like a whiteboard, and you can use sticky notes, or it can actually be done on a software program, which is again done kind of like on a board, and you are going to use what they call cards to indicate all of your project tasks. Now, how this is set up and why this is used is because there's a particular flow with Kanban, and you set it up in columns. And those columns, just for simplicity's sake here, is we're going to stick to the three core ones. There's the to-do column, there's the in-progress column, and the done column. And with the Kanban board, whether again it's manual or software, is you're going to move your tasks through the progress of those columns. And what's really cool about a Kanban board is it allows for everyone on your team to see the progress of everyone else's tasks as well, because it's very visual. Now, the key to Kanban is everyone has to participate in it and be active in regards to ensuring that they're following the rules of Kanban. But I'm going to get into that with an example. Kanban example. Now, before I jump onto my computer to show you an actual Kanban example, don't forget to stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to show you how to get your hands on that amazing checklist I talked about earlier on. Okay, so now we're on my project SharePoint site. You can see this right here. I love, as you've probably seen in previous videos, I love SharePoint as my one-stop shop for all my project-related stuff. And this is a good place if you are going to use a Kanban methodology, a great place to put it, particularly on virtual teams, because then this way everyone can go to the central location and get access to the Kanban board. But as I said earlier on too, you can do a manual version of this, which is a whiteboard. And when you're in person and everyone works in the same office, there's something really powerful about that whiteboard and manually moving the post-it notes that have all the key information on it through the different stages of your Kanban board. So now let's talk about the Kanban board. So I'm giving you an example of a staff skills matrix. Now, please note, here's my disclaimer. I'm simplifying this for you, okay? The simplification is so that you can get the concept. So now let's go into the concept. And the concept is really straightforward. It's all about progressing your activities of your project through a very systematic process that is based on three sections. So let me share with you the first section. It's to do. So this is where you're going to dump all of your business requirements, your project requirements, really your action items. You know, sometimes this is called a backlog of everything that we have to do in order to make this project successful. They're all of our to-do items. The next section is in progress. So this is when you decide to do one of your to-do items. You put it in the in progress section, and that could encompass whatever it is that you need to do for that particular to-do. You could be creating something, validating, executing it. And once you've done everything you need to do within that in progress section, you then put it in your done, and you repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So in your to-do, this is where you can divide it up according to item number. You can divide it up between individuals. So as I said earlier, my disclaimer, this is a really simplified version just to give you an idea as how you can use it, particularly for non-technical projects, because there are a lot of projects out there that could totally use a Kanban board, particularly when you have a couple people working on it and you can see the progress of it. So let's take a look. I'm going to show you one of my cards for my Kanban. So if you take a look here, I have item 1, which is, and the first task within that, my first to do is document and gap analysis, and I've brought it over to Lauren. So I'm going to move that over in my progress. That's the first thing Lauren on my team is going to work on for this particular project. So this item 1 is all about documentation. So the first thing she has to do is a gap analysis. And you'll notice here, I have item 1 and number 1, and I've given her 2 weeks to do it. Now within that 2-week cycle, she's going to do her gap analysis, she's going to validate it with me, and when we're in agreement that all is good, she is going to now move it over into this section, which is done. So now we know for sure it's done. Now for her, she's now going to go to the next item, and that over here is, let me bring this over. Number 2 is documentation SOP creation, that's standard operating procedures, creation and update. So she's taken this gap analysis, she's now gone over here, she's now doing all her standard operating procedure creation, she's updating some, she's creating some new ones, she has to validate it, and then she's going to make sure that it's all set for upload. When that's done, and she's going to move it over to the done section, and you'll notice here she has 4 weeks to complete that. So then when she's done, she's going to bring that over here, and then she's going to have this other task, which is to upload her documentation. See, item 1, item 1, item 1. There's a consistency, 1, 2, 3. Over here you can see the 3. Documentation, she's going to upload it into a learning management system. And for this particular item, there was 3 specific tasks that needed to get accomplished. And when she's done, she's going to throw it over here. Now, that's a very simplified version, one person going through the task, because you want them to focus all their attention in a very quick manner, get it done, test it out, make sure that the end user is happy with the results, and then move on to the next thing. The beautiful thing about a Kanban board is if she did all of this in parallel at the same time without checking and validating, then what would happen is when she would upload it, there'd probably be a whole bunch of problems and issues, and then she'd have to go back and do a lot of rework. And that's the beauty of a Kanban board. You only work on what it is that you're supposed to work on, and then you get approval for it, and then you move on to the next stage. Now with a Kanban board, I can have more people in this Kanban board. So it's not just a one-person Kanban board. You see I have another item here, which is Tiffany, and her item, again, 1, 2, I'm now going to show you a number 3 here. And she's going to do the exact same thing. She's going to take her number 1 and she's going to create her training list and a general approach. I'm giving her 2 weeks to get that done. And just like Lauren, it's the same premise. She's going to move things over and she's going to go to the next one and constantly add it. So these things and individuals can be working on things in parallel. Now, how does that look? Well, let me show you how that looks so that you can see it. So let's say, for example, we had Tiffany working on her training plan, and then we had Lauren working on her gap analysis. These, and you can do as many as you like. Different people, the key is you want to ensure that individuals, it's your items that are driving the activities, and you also want to make sure that you're doing proper resource loading and you're not overloading people too. I can have a couple of tasks in my Kanban board as an individual. Lauren can have a few here. The key is she's not going to have the same item 1. She's not going to have multiple item 1s in here. She may have an item 3. She may have an item 5. They're very different and specific, but those are the things she's working on. For her item 1, she can only work on one thing at a time. And when she's done, she moves it over. So that's the power behind this. So I can have multiple in progress items, but they're going to be different item numbers. I'm not going to have multiple item 1s at the same time, because that defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here with the Kanban board. It's really working through it in a very systematic, rhythmic approach. And it's really, really awesome for very straightforward projects and a great way to get everybody on board to see what other individuals are also doing. Kanban side notes. Now, the really cool thing with the Kanban is you can add as many columns as you like that is needed for your project. As you know in the example, I focused on 3, again, focusing on simplicity. Now, when it comes to how and which project should you use this for, it's really going to be dependent upon you and your project team. This is great for real simple projects. It's just a lovely way to get the visual up there and everybody knows what's going on. If you have more complex projects with tons of, let's say, tasks, action items, requirements, your Kanban board is going to be really populated in that first column, which is the to-do. So you may need an additional like parking lot action item list, which you're going to house all the up and coming requirements that you're going to add to your to-do section once you complete all the ones that are currently there. So there are some additional things that you may have to take a look at. But on that note, Kanban, it's just a really cool visual tool and another way to track your activities in a project. All right, you stuck around to the end, yay, thank you. And I did tell you I have something special for you, which is this. I have this amazing download for you to help you ensure that you do not fail on your projects, because having a Kanban board is gonna help, but even having this download is even gonna help you more. So grab this download from the link below. I put it in there just for you, and it's free. If you learned something new in this video, please give it a like. It does tell YouTube that we're giving out good content, and it's going to help us grow our community, which we really appreciate and we want you to be a part of. So on that note, let me know, do you have any thoughts about Kanban? Put it in the comments below. Talk to you later. Next video.